Weekend Mornings with Glenn Van Zutphen on MoneyFM 89.3.
Welcome back to Weekend Mornings here on MoneyFM 89.3. Glenn Van Zutphen and Neil Humphreys with you up until noon, 10:33 right now. Singapore stories, good Singapore stories about startups that have happened here. In this case, fashion takes us to SHANGHOOD. And SHANGHOOD has been around since 2015, over 6 years. Since then, the brand has become a popular choice among media personalities, has expanded its online reach beyond Singapore and Malaysia and Hong Kong, Taiwan, the US, currently operating a showroom in Tiong Bahru Market. Now, I have to confess, until I saw a story in the Straits Times a few weeks ago, I did not know the brand. So clearly, I am not necessarily the target audience.
No, but Dan the man knew it, our producer.
Yes.
And we're holding up the shirts now. I love a good entrepreneurial, gung-ho story. And this is it.
Absolutely. Let's talk to the co-founders right now of SHANGHOOD, and that is Jason Ng and Rix Tan. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Great to have you on today.
Hi,
Hi,
good
morning, Glenn. Morning, Neil.
Good morning, guys. I hope you are paying us by the minute for holding up your wonderful brands.
Thank you for the shirts. We did not pay for them. They were a courtesy of you. I'm wearing mine this morning, and we do appreciate it. Thanks for that. Hey, gentlemen, tell us about your story. How did you guys come together? How did the idea of SHANGHOOD start?
All right. Okay, this story we probably have repeated numerous times, but it is an interesting story that we always share to our followers. And of course, this brand, as the word says, SHANGHOOD, when you break it down, it means Shanghai neighborhood. So this is the original idea, and it really started from Shanghai when 4 of us, good friends, traveled to Shanghai, and we discovered that there's two sides of Shanghai, if you know. Pudong, where there's a financial district, the more robust area, and Puxi, which is the more traditional, a bit more olden towns. So combining these two sides of Shanghai, we thought, we should have come up with some hashtag for this trip. So in the end, we managed to come up with SHANGHOOD as a hashtag for our Instagram pictures. Yeah, so from there,
awesome.
From there we decided to design a couple of SHANGHOOD team shirt, just to give to our friends, just plainly giving to our friends to wear as a show of identity, something like that. And their friends of friends started to ask where these t-shirts come from. So it became more and more. People started to ask, more people come to ask, where can they buy these t-shirts?
So just to clarify, it's not based or inspired by Shanghai clothing. It's just the name you like, right? Because when I first saw SHANGHOOD, I thought it was, a lot of fashions are Japanese inspired or Korean inspired. I thought maybe this was Shanghai inspired, but it's not the case at all. It's a purely local, original, and all of the ideas just basically come from you guys.
Yes, that's right. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when we talk about this hashtag SHANGHOOD, of course, there was a nice ring to it. That's why it's like, are you going to wear your SHANGHOOD today? Hey, have you got your SHANGHOOD cap, your SHANGHOOD sweatshirt? Yeah, so it was more of like a nice ring to the name and the brand.
That's fantastic. We're talking with Jason Ng and Rix Tan, the co-founders of SHANGHOOD, and Remy Fan is on. Apparently, she knows you, at least Rix, because she says you're a sexy beast on our Facebook Live feed. So you got one dedicated fan. I don't think we need to go any deeper into what that relationship's about. But anyway, just kidding. When you looked at starting this, you started with T-shirts, but now, if you go on the website, the SHANGHOODwear.com website, there is everything from handbags and hoodies and hats and obviously T-shirts and things. How did in just a few short years, how do you expand from a business standpoint? How do you expand a business like that in a fashion industry that is so cutthroat?
I think firstly, it really takes a lot of perseverance in this industry, because as you know, fashion clothing is not an easy industry to be in. And of course, with the retail not doing too well during these few years, I think what we wanted to start off definitely on the online basis, and we want to capture the mid-tier market of the consumers, which has more spending power. So from there, the expansion in product range is natural in the sense that we want to offer more choices for our consumers. And of course, we wanted to build this brand to be a sustainable brand from the start. So we want this brand to really resonate with Singaporeans. This brand, we wanted to bring it out of Singapore to make it proud, to make Singaporean proud to wear this everywhere they go. So that was the original idea.
Right.
And from there, of course, we constantly have feedback from consumers. They're saying, hey, do you have handbags? Do you have maybe a tea for my dogs? Yeah, or maybe a cat.
You've got an entire pet section. It's crazy for dog wear collection. That's awesome. What a great idea.
so that is actually a collaboration with Acres. Yeah. So there's something that we will give back 50% of a proceed to Acres for this dog wear section. So because we found that in Singapore there isn't really a streetwear label for dogs. Yeah. So we thought it's something cute and something cool to have the owners wearing the SHANGHOOD sweater or t-shirt or cap together with their dogs. Yeah, when they go out for a walk. So I thought that was something quite unique in Singapore, at least. Yeah.
So this is genuinely fascinating to me, guys. Your story, genuinely fascinating. See, the dog thing, I kind of get that because it's quite niche. So if you have a relatively original concept, you should be okay. And I get your business model as well. Online retailing, that middle tier market, a little bit of spending power. I get that too. But it's such a competitive industry that you are in. And I can give you a really relative example. I'm wearing it. I wear T-shirts exclusively. I am a T-shirt snob, like many people. I do not wear T-shirts that are just from the high street. I have to have a T-shirt that nobody else has. This T-shirt come from a niche football website in the UK. I know that there's a fraction of the world who has this T-shirt. And a lot of people are like that now. A lot of people are T-shirt snobs, one. Two, Singaporeans exclusively wear T-shirts most of the time because of the climate. So you're in a very competitive field with T-shirt connoisseurs who will only wear certain things. So I'm fascinated to know, how did you come up with your designs? What sets your designs apart from everybody else that makes them go online when they've literally got the whole world to choose from and pick your T-shirts? What is it about your brand?
Firstly, I think we want to have our brand aligned to minimalist style. So we stick to that because we realize that many people love that minimalist style. And I think this is a safe market to go for. And so far, it has been so good. People has been really forthcoming in our designs. And we stick to the same kind of spirit and ideology along the way. So even with our new series coming out, we still stick to simplistic wording and catchy wording that they can entice the customers to buy. And of course, we constantly want to invent creative words per se to really set the trend. We want to be a trendsetter here in terms of streetwear. And of course, 6 years down the road, we have many up and down. So it's really about perseverance and knowing the customer ever-changing taste in the fashion.
Yeah.
And of course,
go ahead.
Yep. Of course, people nowadays are more savvy in terms of their materials. Exactly. And that's something we want to go into, which is sustainability in our streetwear supply chain. Yeah,
and let's talk about that as we're speaking with Jason and Rooks, co-founders of SHANGHOOD here in Singapore. First of all, the materials, what makes them more eco-friendly and sustainable? And are you doing the production here in Singapore, or is it outsourced somewhere else?
They feel great, by the way. I have to say that they genuinely feel great.
Nice cotton.
Yeah.
All right. So the raw material is printed overseas. Yeah. So, but some of the printings are done in Singapore. So, but then we wanted to focus on the raw materials, this whole supply chain, right from the start, where they use organic cottons, or if there's the raw materials that they do all the way from the transportation. We wanted to make sure that this is as little carbon emission as possible along the whole value chain. So even down to Singapore, where we try to use reusable bag that people can recycle. Yeah.
And do you think with younger buyers, I mean, maybe you can tell us, I'm not sure entirely what your demographic is, maybe you can tell us, but do you think with younger buyers, that's becoming a more important issue? Not only what it looks like, but where it came from?
Yeah. From our point of view, definitely, younger buyers are actually looking at more sustainable brands, and also the choices that they make. It's a lot more aware. They're more aware of the environment, and then of course we're moving towards that. And as you see with other like brands as well, they're also moving towards the green movement as well. Yeah, I mean everything to the little actions. Like for example, recently we just had a collaboration with this brand Stoke Cups from Australia. So we're also moving towards that kind of sustainability in terms of like when you have a reusable cup, so you stop using the plastics that you get from takeaway drinks.
Because a lot of the stuff you're producing a lot of things that we've seen that have become popular, the mouse pads and coffee cups and accessories, hats, baseball hats and purses and everything else. I mean, this idea of making it a more sustainable product is important to people, and also the supply chain and the carbon footprint. To that end, would you consider maybe starting to produce more of the stuff in Singapore, for example, and produce it locally so that you could reduce some of that carbon footprint of transport and things like that?
And just to add to that, that is a key point that the government is trying to initiate more homegrown products, whether it's food or clothing. It's a very good point about the carbon footprint of travel.
Yeah. What do you think about that, guys? Is that possible?
Yes, that is possible. And of course, we want to move gradually towards that. Of course, cost is the main issue in every production of the fashion line. So that's something in our pipeline. And definitely we have made a commitment to be a sustainable organization along the line, along with the government plans, which the budget 2021 has said, we want to move towards 2030 green city, entirely. So we are pretty aligned to that plan. So that is how, as a Singapore firm, I think it's important to really run towards. Yeah.
Wonderful. We've got some comments coming in, and just to show you that we are a live interactive show, someone asked me to put the shirt on. I ran off stage and I put the shirt on. Superman.
Good spot.
Superman in a phone box has got nothing on me when it comes to changing clothes.
I just put it on this morning when I woke up. That saved all the drama that you just went through running off.
I didn't have it. The show was starting when I got the shirt, and I whipped it on live for the treat for our Facebook Live listeners.
Nice.
Does this make me look? Does it make me look younger? I mean, is it a younger demographic now? Have I just?
No, there's a nice glow to your face right now.
Good luck with that, Neil. That's the sweatiness. I just changed under the desk.
He just needs a baseball cap half, on askew, and then he'd really look hip.
I'm going to hang out at Haji Lane later, and I'm going to go down to skate.
All the young people are going to say, "Oh, look at that old guy who got the shirt on. That shirt's not cool anymore."
Dad rock. Here he comes with his dad jeans and his dad rock and all that. But no, I'm not just saying it, guys. I'm sincere. What I said earlier, I am a t-shirt snob. He'll tell you I wear t-shirts exclusively
all the time.
I genuinely like it. I love the feel of it. I love the comfort. I'm going to wear it. I hope it helps. It probably won't. I'm the kind of guy you don't want wearing the shirt. I don't know, but I like it. It's comfortable. Moving forward, what are your future plans? Are you going to conquer the world with this brand? What are your plans?
All right. Firstly, we wanted to target the US market because we have been seeing increasing trend in the consumers over there. Yeah, and I think generally they like black and white in the US in terms of colors. So I think it really resonates with our team and our style of designs that they want. So this is one of the plans that we want to go towards too. And of course, touching on the point, we want to have more collaboration because if you know, in the recent trend of fashion line, they have been collaborating with various brands, not just in fashion, but in other area. Yeah, so
maybe you can help me with this because you raised a good point there. I would say 70-80% of my t-shirts are black or dark blue, which drives my wife mad. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. And you just said there that black seems to be, the popular color of choice. You've probably done your market research or whatever it is, but I see predominantly black t-shirts too, particularly amongst younger people. What is it? What is it about the black t-shirt? Because it doesn't lend itself to this climate either. You tend to sweat more. But what is it about black? Apart from it being slimming, I mean, what is it about black?
It's cool. I think most of the time, people draw the relation with black as like it's more sleek. When it's more sleek, more chic, so, and it's easier to match with. I mean, you should draw on a black t-shirt and you literally can match with anything, Yeah. So I mean, just one question back to Neil. What you mentioned you're a t-shirt snob, right? So what
very much
do you look for in a particular t-shirt when you're making a selection choices?
Oh, we could have a whole thing about this, but it drives my family mad.
I mean, because it's interesting.
Briefly,
I want to find out.
I think it's a very interesting point that I think young people make. Let's take Star Wars, right? I just went to the Star Wars exhibition. I would not wear an obvious Star Wars t-shirt because I think that's too cheesy. I'm too old. And I think many people would wear the same shirt. So I go to websites like movie websites, pop culture websites, and I'll buy an obscure t-shirt. Like they have when Luke blows up the Death Star in the original Star Wars, there's that basic computer graphics on his fighter machine. I have that on a t-shirt, which it's very niche. It's what we call a deep cut, right? It's a very deep cut reference. And I'll do that with Jaws. I won't wear a picture of the shark, but I might have Quint's fishing tackle on my t-shirt because Quint is the guy that Robert Shaw plays who gets eaten by the shark. So I like niche. I think a lot of young people like niche. They like to wear something that hardly anybody else has, but people who know it get it. So I wouldn't wear an obvious Beatles t-shirt, but I might wear something from an album or something like that. I think niche, right? Is that what you guys find? People want something different, original, and less commercial.
Yes, definitely. That's what we has always strived to be. And of course, many of our popular designs are on a limited edition basis. So you have to quickly snap it up in our website. So this is the trend we spotted a few years ago, that people will crave and people will rush for things that is on a limited edition basis. So this has been going on for a few years. Yeah. So that is how we want to do, and we will continue to do it. Yeah.
I think we want to be more original, don't we? We want to conform to those consumerist trends. Sure. I think that's become an increasing phenomenon for your kids, for my kids.
Absolutely. I'm talking with Jason and Rix, co-founders of SHANGHOOD. Okay, I've got a marketing and branding question because it came up earlier when somebody asked in a chat before you guys came on, is the brand from Shanghai? Okay, you explained the story. You were on a trip. You went to Shanghai neighborhood, and SHANGHOOD, Shanghai neighborhood. Are you concerned, and when you look on the website, right, and the different things you sell, most everything is SHANGHOOD. Some of it says Shanghai, just Shanghai on it. Are you concerned that people are going to just assume that this is a brand from Shanghai and there's not going to be a Singapore connection to it? Have you thought about branching out into SingHood or some other kind of Singapore-based branding on it as well? Because right now it looks and feels like Shanghai, right? From an outsider like me. What have you thought about that?
From the start, yes, definitely people will be a bit confused. This brand is from Shanghai or Singapore. So
or does it matter in today's age? Maybe it doesn't matter at all. I don't know.
Okay, because we wanted to be more catchy, more international going forward. So I think we will still stick to this brand because it's the very brand that will catch everyone's attention from the standpoint. But we always shout out that this is definitely from a Singapore brand's perspective.
Yeah. Well, I just wish you all the best because I love the initiative. I love any young Singaporeans doing something original, creative, that's something that stands out from the crowd. And I sincerely hope, man, you guys conquer America. That's what I want. So come back when you've conquered the US of A, because they need some original T-shirts.
It's a great story, a Singapore story, and congratulations on your 6 years of success. We hope you
thank you very much.
many more years and come back and talk to us again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
You bet. Jason and Rix Tan, co-founders of SHANGHOOD, right here in Singapore. It's always good to see local brands.
Love that
doing
story.
well.
Love that story. Love those guys. That was a good. I know you saw it in a newspaper and invited the guys on. I thought these are the kind of stories I want to read about. These are the kind of stories. These are the kind of people I want to chat. Great on radio as well.
Yeah.
You know, natural conversationalists. That's what we want.
Hey, AB Terrence had a great question, and I'm sorry, I just saw it now after these guys got off, but hopefully if they're on Facebook Live watching the follow-up, they can put it in the chat. AB Terrence asks, is SHANGHOOD looking into doing a collab with any celebrity? Love the Under Armour with The Rock, you know, collab, doing merchandise and that sort of thing.
Apart from us two, of course.
So Jason and Rix, if you're still on, are you thinking about doing any sort of celebrity tie-ups like that to promote the brand? So we'd love to hear about that as well. Anyway, cool. Lots more coming up. We got to pay a couple of bills right here, and then we'll be right back on Weekend Mornings.
On Money FM 89.3, we ask the questions that matter.
How will business overcome this challenge?
What would be the economic